Good evening, students. History of English language we are going to discuss today. So let us read together. English is a member of Indo-European family of language, right? So first of all, we should know that English language is the member of Indo-European family of language, right? This family is of 300 years old, consisting of many branches, right? So 300 years, right? The history of this family is 300 years old. Germanic is one major branch of this family from which English language is originated. Very important point here. Germanic. Sorry. Germanic is one of the main branches from where English language was originated. The other branches of this family are, these are the other branches: Slavic, Baltic, Celtic, Romance, Indo-Iranian. So these are the other branches of English language, right? Now, the history of English language can be studied in three different periods. So the history of English language is divided into three periods, right? That this 500 in some texts, that is 450. So that's a Old English, Middle English, Modern English. Old English is 550 to 1100, 500 to 1100, or 450 to 1100, anything. Then Middle English 1100 to 1500, and 1500 till date, that is Modern English. So first, Old English. In this 5th century, a tribe called Angels came. History says that this is the 5th century, na? 500, right? So in 5th century, tribe called Angels came from south of Denmark, right? So they had come from south of Denmark, right? To occupy British Island, right? So first we can note down here, if you are noting down, so just note down that first is, that's a invasion of angels, right? Tribes, they were tribes, angels, from where they did come, south of Denmark. So that's a angel came from south of Denmark to occupy British Island, right? So angels came from south of Denmark to occupy British, right, island. Another tribe called Saxon. So that's a angels, and then another one is Saxon. Also joined the angels to occupy island. So first phenomena is that they from south of Denmark, angels and Saxon came to occupy British Island. Okay, now the Celts were the local inhabitants dwelling in the island before the advent of these two tribes. So these were living there. Celts were the local inhabitants, and who came? That's a angels, and Saxons, right? So sorry. Now the people of these two tribes developed a friendship and started living together. One has angels, angels, and Saxon, and Saxon, right? So angel Saxon came together, and then Saxon came together. They became friend, developed friendship, and started living together. And the common language they spoke was Anglo-Saxon. This is the Anglo-Saxon. This Anglo-Saxon language now is called Old English, and this Anglo-Saxon is called Old English. Anglo-Saxon language gradually came to be called Englishik. Englishik. So Anglo-Saxon, Old Language, and Englishik, right? So it was known as Anglo-Saxon or Old English, or gradually it is called Englishik. And the land where this language was spoken came to be recognized as Angla-land, right? And land where they speak, they live, that is Angla-land. Now England, right? So what's the as English language Anglo-Saxon began to evolve four major dialects. So that dialects is for community, per particular community. Dialects is what? That is used in a language which is used in a particular community. Right? Okay. Community. So then an Old English Anglo-Saxon began to evolve four major dialects. Right? So they began to evolve four major dialects. What are they? Let us see. North Umbrian, North Umbrian, then Mercian, then West Saxon, and then Kentish. These were the four languages which were spoken in between 500 or 450 AD to 11 AD. This is the old AD. So this is the old language. Okay. North naturally is spoken in northern part of Ireland, so that community speak Northern Umbrian. Then Mercian, that's spoken in Midlands. Then West Saxon is spoken in West and South, so that is West Saxon. And then Kentish spoken in Southeast. So these four languages. Now Old English did not sound or look like English of present day. It is said that it is totally changed. Modern English and Old English cannot be compared even. Almost changed, right? So that is native speakers would have great difficulty in understanding Old English. Anyhow, about half of the most commonly used words in modern English have Old English roots. So, surprise is that Old English is not in existence. It does not exist now. But on the contrary, half of the most common vocabulary, right? Common words, commonly used words, still in modern language we use from old language. However, old language is not being existed now, but then modern language and some modern language in modern language many words have taken from old English. The words, for example, words be strong water, for example, derived from Old English. So these are the examples that Old English be strong water were used. So that is something history about Old English. Now Middle English 1100 to 1500. The second phase of the history of English is Middle English, right? In now again change is that in 1610 1066 William the Conqueror, so that's a William the Conqueror, the Duke of Normandy, part of modern France, invaded and conquered England. So first Anglo-Saxon came from different places. They had developed friendship, and they start speaking Englishik, and then it was divided into four dialects, and then so since it was the period was 450 or 500 AD to 1100. Then next change took place, that is William in 166. William the Conqueror, the Duke of Normandy, right now it is called modern France, invaded and conquered England. So they came here, and then they invaded, and then they conquered the England, right? And then the new rulers called that's a Normans, right? So Anglo-Saxon came, now Normans spoke Anglo-Norman, right? So Norman French, right? Which was also a product of Germanic, because Germanic tribes came Anglo-Saxon, then Norman came, the new language was Norman French, right? So it was invented. Now, after the invasion of Normans, there prevailed a distinction in use of language. The lower classes, so then language is divided, two types of language was there. By language was bifurcated. The lower classes, it is according to class language, like peasant and slaves spoke English, and upper class spoke Norman French. So that is upper class, for upper class Norman French, and for lower class that's a English, spoke English. So lower class like peasant and slave, they speak English, right? Now in the 14th century, English became dominant in Britain again. That's a time, even see, language is not fixed anywhere. Once upon a time, it was in very vulnerable situation. Why? Because upper class used to speak Norman French, and then again in 14th century, it was a dominating language. Dominant began in Britain again with many French words added. However, this English became powerful language, but with many French words, right? Now, thus the blending of Anglo-Saxon, the language of the ruled, and Anglo-Norman, the language of rulers, right? So then again it is divided into two. So that first is the blending of Anglo, because many came, so many language. So that's the language of Anglo, right? Language of Anglo-Saxon, and then so that was Anglo-Saxon, language of ruled, right? And Anglo-Norman, language of rulers, that is for rulers, right? So it was ruled means they have already ruled, and Anglo-Norman, at that time ruler was there, for them they used to speak Anglo-Norman, right? Gave birth to the Middle English, and this way Anglo-Norman, when they speak, then this was known as Middle English. The most famous example of Middle English is Chaucer's prologue to Canterbury Tales. Very important, 13th century, right? So Chaucer's prologue to Canterbury Tales. The Middle English period came to a close around 1500 AD with the rise of modern language, and then it 1100 to 1500, Chaucer's Chaucer's A Prologue to Canterbury Tales or something is written, and this way Anglo-Normal, Anglo-Saxon, we have seen here that's a dominant language. English become dominant language, and then Anglo-Saxon was the language of ruled, and Anglo-Normal was the ruler's language, right? So this was Middle English. Now modern English. Modern English is divided into two periods. That's the early modern English and late modern English. So that is started from 1500 to date, right? Till date. So that is English modern, early modern English. The Renaissance movement brought a tremendous change. So that next moment is as let me recall you first, that's a Germanic tribe Anglo came into invaded to Britain Ireland, and then after some time Saxon ruler came to Saxon tribe came to Britain with the same in the same island, Britain Island, and then they developed the friendship, and then they started speaking, shared some language, and then it was Englishik, and the land was not England, something England or something, and where they started living, and then here it is not given, but then they Celtic local people used to speak Celtic, so they just have sent them out, and they start living, they start ruling there, and this way Old English was developed. Then Middle English. So in Middle English, what happened? William the Conqueror, Duke of Denmark, he came, and then he started. So that language was divided into two, Anglo and Saxon. That's a we have seen here. That's a let me tell you that peasant language is divided into two class, right? So that William Duke of Normandy, he came and he invaded England, conquer England, and then new rulers called Normans spoke English Norman, and who was product of Germanic. They came from German, and then a Germanic tribe, and then after the invasion of Normans, they were uh, there prevailed a distinction in the use of language, and the lower class peasant. So language was divided, English was divided into two class. Lower used to speak English, and Norman French was spoken by upper class. But then very soon in 14th century again English became a dominating language, powerful language, and but many words were adopted from French language, right? And and this is the blending of Anglo-Saxon, which is used by ruled, and then Anglo-Norman by rulers, right? So this was the change. Now then modern. So early modern, the Renaissance movement. The third movement is Renaissance brought a tremendous change in language. How we can see that how language changes gradually, changes every day, every minute. In fact, we can say language changes because of technology, because of interaction, because of transport, because of many people's interaction, because of parties. Every so many factors are there as Renaissance movement. Then because of this tremendous change came into language, and then English language during this period, that's a many classical Latin and Greek words took a place in language. So that's a Latin and Greek, they contribute in English. Latin and Greek have contributed a lot, right? So these are the Latin and Greek words, they are many words are used in English, Latin and Greek words. So that's a major contribution in English, right? And now William Shakespeare, who has chronicled the history of England, has used examples of early modern English in his plays Love's Labour Lost through a character called Holofernes, right? So that's Shakespeare in born in 16th century, and then he has changed the language, and then he set the standard or something, and this way early modern phase that, and then modern English in his play Love's Labour's Laws. That was the play written by Shakespeare, and where character Holofernes, and then he speaks modern English, and this way that's a undercurrents of modern English was found in this time, right? Now the two major factors influence the language and serve to separate middle and modern English. The first was great vowel shift. So what happened that this was the reason why this was changed, because of two reasons: how language changes gradually, but then how it becomes middle to modern. So here we see that middle to modern. So here what's the middle, that sorry, here we see that, wait a minute. So that's a William Shakespeare, because of love law. In Love's Law, Labor Laws, that's a drama which is written by Shakespeare, where we see that the character Holofernes, he speaks modern English. Now the other two major factors influence language and serve to separate modern and middle and modern English. The first was great vowel shift. That's a very important point. Great vowel shift. So what is this? This was the change in pronunciation that began around 14th century. The great vowel shift distinguishes modern English from middle English. The middle English has words with vowel which are predominantly pronounced from the back of the mouth. So that is, whereas the words of modern English are pronounced from the front of the mouth, right? So that changed. The great vowel shift was first studied by Jesperson, Danish linguist, and Angelis, right? Who coined the term? What term? Who coined the term? This term, that is shift. So that he said that the great vowel shift. How? The great vowel shift is because earlier uh, uh, we pronounce from back of the back on in the, as like vowel shift was took place, then back of the mouth we used to speak, then in modern English front of the mouth we start speaking. Now the last factor in development of modern English was the advent of printing press. Very, very, very important. As advent of printing press means the most reachable text was reachable to every hand, common people's hand, and that's why they were learned, they were educated, so that they were able to read, right? That's a great advantage and great change. So William Caxton, again remember William Caxton, brought the printing press to England in 1476. Please remember this line, very, 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 very important. So I am doing underline, and then please take a note that William Caxton brought the printing press to England in 1476, right? Now consequently many works were published in English, and then that uh, printing press came, so that many works printed, right? And then uh, it was possible that works are in common people's hand, and then the Bible was written in modern English for benefit of common people during the rule of King James. Again, that is also oftenly asked, that the Bible was written in modern English, because Bible was written in old English, so it was translated into modern English. And why? Because benefit of common people, then only they will be able to understand. So during the rule of King James, right? And then further, the first purely English alphabetical dictionary. Again, this is very important. First purely English alphabetical dictionary. That's a name of a table alphabetically, right? That's a name of dictionary. A table alphabetically, right? So table alphabetical was written by Robert. So that is written by Robert Cowdery in 1604. right? Late 1755 Samuel Johnson's dictionary, proper dictionary, came into existence. But before Samuel Johnson, Robert Cowdery in 1604, he published first dictionary with the name of A Table Alphabetical, right? And then Samuel Johnson, so in 1755 Samuel Johnson's dictionary was published, and then all these developments stabilized the English language to a large extent. So now English was just flowing. Once upon a time, English, when we see that old time, so that English was changing, and every day we can say that the form of English was changing, because one attacker came, then another came, then they both brought languages, and then language was mingled up, and then finally in old English, language was divided into English was divided into four dialects. Every people, that's a community, they speak their own language. So that was 450 or 500 to 1100. Then 1100 to 1500 middle period came, where middle in the middle period again next ruler came, and then it was the amalgamation, it was the blending of old English and then some words, so that they brought their own language. And this Anglo Saxon language, Normandy came, so Normandy's he brought some of the words language. So this way the blending, and then language was divided into two categories. For lower people or for peasants, they speak they were known as lower class, and elite class speak used to speak French, or lower like a peasant were used to speak, lower class used to speak English. But very soon 14th century, English came into became powerful, and then because of Chaucer's prologue to Canterbury Tales, and because it was written in modern English, so that's a Middle English was here. And then how Middle English came changes the into modern, because of Canterbury Tales. This was written by Chaucer, Geoffrey Chaucer. So this way language changes. But in modern language, the biggest breakthrough came when Renaissance, right? Because of Renaissance revolution, right? And then printing press, then dictionary, two dictionary was launched. So then it was reachable to everyone. Then translation of modern Bible into modern through modern language. So modern language, English was used for common people. Bible was translated into modern language, or this way pre, or we can say that early modern language. In early modern language, lots of changes took place, and then language become modern language, somewhat that is changing, flowing continuously. But then now English was static somewhere, and then some final rules, almost final rules were made. Now last phase is, that's the late modern English. The English language development received a further impetus, great momentum, with the industrial revolution. Now next major change came, that is industries, number of industries. So industrial revolution and expansion of British Empire. And then second change came, that is British Empire. So that expansion, that became larger British Empire. So that's the British invasion led to the language, borrowing words from Greek and Latin and adopting them to suit the English phonology and morphology. So what this is important statement. The British invasion led to the language borrowing words from Greek and Latin. So that's a major contribution of Greek and Latin. So this is there, adopting them to suit the English phonology and morphology. Phonology is what? Phonology is logy's study. So phonology is what? Phonology is the something, the study of phone or sound and grammar and context, and then morphology, words, study of words. So this way we used to say that I WhatsApp you, right? I WhatsApp you. So WhatsApp is being as here WhatsApp is being as verb. I will Google you. If you Google, you will find something. So that is also verb form. Googled boy, Googled girl. That is Googled is adjective. So this way, language is being changed every day, and new words, new phrases, new proverbs are invented by the authors, and then it came. You must have listened that क्या ही कर सकते हैं, ये क्या, this क्या ही कर सकते हैं. It's a new invention, and it is somewhat every हिंदी स्पीकर दे यूज टू स्पीक क्या ही कर सकते हैं. तो दैट्स अ काइंड ऑफ न्यू लैंग्वेज. It will go after some time, then some new expression will come this way. Now, what's the key points of the topic? That English belongs Germanic branch of Indo-European family of language. So basically, what's the basic of English? That is Germanic branch, right, of Indo-European family. Indo-European family, right? Number two, that's a cells were the local people in the Celts were the local people. They were local people in the British Island before the advent of angels and Saxon. So before angels and Saxon, Celt. Saxon. What was the local language? It was Celt. Now, Old English is the other name for Anglo-Saxon language, and then Old English. Another name of Old English is Anglo-Saxon language. Now, four major dialects of Old English are, so that is we have already read. Then Beowulf, the rich source of old language, Old English. That's a poem actually, and very big poem, and oldest one poem, Beowulf, right? Then William the Duke of Normandy invaded English in England, so that history and language always goes hand in hand. So then William the Duke of Normandy invaded England in 1066, and then the combination of Anglo-Saxon and Anglo-Norman gave birth in Middle English. So Middle English came into existence with the Anglo-Saxon and Anglo-Norman. That's a blending, and then it gave birth of Middle English. Then Chaucer's Prologue to Canterbury Tales is the famous book in Middle English. Then great vowel shift and other attributes to change in pronunciation, because earlier we speak from back of the mouth, now then front of the mouth. So that's a great vowel shift was studied by Jesperson and coined the term, right? Great vowel shift, this was the term was coined by Jesperson, right? And the a table alphabetical is the first dictionary written by Robert Cowdery, and then William Caxton brought printing press, very important breakthrough to England in 1476, which led many works published in English because of this printing press. And many Greek and Latin words found a place in English language on the eve of Industrial Revolution. That's why, because of Industrial Revolution, Greek and Latin words we use still in the English language, right? And expansion of British Empire, that was the another reason. Now, history of English language too. English is a member of Indo-European family of language. Germanic is one of the major branches of the family from English language originated. The history of English language can be studied in three different periods. So that is Old English, Middle English, Modern English, right? Nature of language, so they are just giving the definition of language, which is already discussed in previous slide, and then I'm going to speak in another slide. That is separate slide will be made for that's a nature of language and important definition of language. I'll make another video. Thank you so much. Bye bye. God bless you.